What's good, y'all? It's your boy HB, final round. What a fight, man. We had Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk. I had my boy Oleksandr Usyk finding a way to pull out the W. And props to the UK for not coming up with some bullshit scorecards, even though, I mean, it would be hard to favor that fight for Anthony Joshua in anybody's realm, even if it's corrupt. But shout out nonetheless. I didn't see any sketchy scorecards. And, like I said, man, if Anthony Joshua was going to come into this fight and he was going to be tentative and he was going to try to outbox the better boxer, I thought that was a huge mistake. Oleksandr Usyk did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He boxed circles around Anthony Joshua. He started to pick up the tempo, especially in the 12th round where he just let his hands go, damn near got a TKO knockout. And if that fight went 30 seconds longer, Anthony Joshua would have been finished. And there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions now, man. The rematch, is there going to be one? Yes, I guarantee you there'll be a rematch. Too much money, and I think Anthony Joshua has to find a way to redeem himself. And like I said before the fight, man, I think this fight will be predicated off of how Anthony Joshua decides to fight. And I think, I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua would beat Oleksandr Usyk if he approached the fight differently, but I damn sure know that his chances would have been better than what they were trying to box this man. At the end of the day, if this rematch is going to go down, Anthony Joshua needs to be the bigger man. He needs to get back to the old Anthony Joshua. He needs to put that weight back on, and become that destroyer that he was before the Andy Ruiz fight. He needs to cut off the ring. He needs to put pressure. He needs to get in the clinch, wrestle with him, put all his weight on Oleksandr Usyk. Be the bigger man. I continuously said this repetitively before the fight. Take a page out of Tyson Fury's matchup in the second fight with Deontay Wilder. That was it. That was the blueprint. It was right there. Now, granted, they came in with the wrong game plan, and that's what I thought was going to happen. They're going to try to come in, slim down. I mean, why else would you slim down? You're trying to go 12 rounds. He slimmed down, and he tried to box with this dude. And Anthony Joshua, he's a solid boxer. He's a good boxer, don't get me wrong. But he's not on the level in terms of Usyk, in terms of his boxing abilities and skills. He's not the type of guy that's going to create openings. He's not the type of guy that's going to constantly walk you into traps. He's the type of fighter, he's fundamentally sound, he has good timing, and he exploits openings when he sees them. That's about it. It doesn't get much deeper than that. There was a reason why I say Anthony Joshua, he doesn't grab my attention as a fighter, because he's not that deep. But if he's going to take this rematch, he needs to be the bigger man, and this fight will look a lot different. I'm not saying Anthony Joshua was going to win. I thought he could have won the fight if he took that approach initially. But it's completely going to change the dynamics if they take a rematch. Mentally, is he shot? Two, is he going to, have that dog in him to understand, I can't fuck around with this guy. I gotta get him out of here. I said it. He needs to get Usyk out within 6 rounds, because if it gets past that, it's going to start to favor Usyk. And it didn't even take 6. It really only took, not even. It was happening immediately. But I thought that at least Anthony Joshua would put a little bit of pressure for 6 rounds, and he never did. There's certain pockets in the fight to where he had a little bit of success, and he hurt Usyk. He was throwing some right uppercuts to the body, backed him down, but he never capitalized on it. I thought at the very least, Anthony Joshua would have, done something to back Usyk up and then follow up with it instead of going back to boxing. That's not your game, dude. You made the proper adjustment for Andy Ruiz, right, in the second fight. You did the right thing. You slimmed down. You boxed off the back foot, but that was needed for Andy Ruiz. That was needed for that fight. It wasn't needed for Pulev, and it sure as hell wasn't needed for Usyk. I'm not making excuses for the guy. Why would I make excuses for Anthony Joshua when I chose Usyk? But what I'm saying is, I don't think he came in with the right game plan. I don't think he did himself any favors. And, obviously it's going to be hard for him to go to the Kronk gym with Tyson Fury training over there. But, that's essentially what he needs to do, man. This guy, he's not going to become a better boxer than Usyk in a short period of time, if ever. So for him to try, if he finds a new trainer that's trying to teach him how to box, in the center of the ring and off the back foot, it's going to be the same result. And even if Anthony Joshua does decide to put pressure for the second fight, he's still going to have to execute the game plan. He's still going to have to cut off the ring consistently. He's still probably going to be tested to the chin at times. He's still going to have to find a way to land that jab, which he didn't really do in this fight. He's still going to have to find a way to deteriorate Usyk to the body. So there's still a lot of things he needs to get down. Is it possible? Yeah, the beauty about pressure fighting, it's pretty straightforward. It's a science in itself, but it takes more discipline. And, it takes more discipline than anything. It's not something that's out of his realm to develop, right? Because early on in his career, before that, not even early on, but before that Andy Ruiz fight, that's kind of what he was. He was a seek and destroyer. He would go to knock you out. He was a knockout artist. And, he just, that fight with Ruiz changed him. And even that fight, he was a seek and destroyer. The reason why he lost that fight is because he came in, he was looking to finish Ruiz when he knocked him down with that hook. And then he got caught in an exchange getting a little too reckless, not knowing that Andy Ruiz can throw down a little bit. Actually can really throw down. And so I think he came in the second fight. He made the right adjustment. He knew that, look, this guy's got fast hands, faster hands than me. He throws punches and bunches. He's a great counter puncher. He's a pressure fighter. I can't engage with him. I need to box off the back foot. Fair enough. You did that. You made the right adjustments. But after that, it was like he stayed within that style, which was ridiculous. It made no sense. You needed to go back to who you were. Do what got you to the dance. You know what I'm saying? Do what got you to the dance. Make the adjustments when you need to make them, but don't abandon who you are. And he needs to go back to being that seek and destroy. I would like to see him put on that muscle he used to have in the weight, because that's who Anthony Joshua is. I'm not saying just because you put on muscle and weight is going to make you a powerful puncher and stronger and stuff like that, because that doesn't apply to every boxer. But that is who Anthony Joshua is to his core. And the only time he needed to really make an adjustment was for Andy Ruiz, because most guys that match up with him are not going to bring what Andy Ruiz brought to the table, instead of in terms of the size, the pressure fighting, the speed and combinations and the punches and bunches. Andy Ruiz is kind of like a very unique character in the heavyweight division. He's somewhat undersized, even though he's pretty big in weight. In terms of his height and range, he's kind of undersized. But the dude can throw down, and he's fast, and he's deceptive, because when you look at him, you don't think he's that fast and he can throw combos, but he's game. He's a better fighter than he comes off as. And but for the most part, when Anthony Joshua is himself, he matches up very well against almost all the fighters he goes against. And I just didn't understand. I had a feeling he was going to go in this fight and try to box. Why else would you be slimming down to try to go 12 rounds? He should have been bulking it up to go no longer than 6 rounds. And he didn't. And so, can he make adjustments? Yeah, sure. Do I think he can improve his chances of winning in the second fight? Sure, I do. But, we got to stop sleeping on Usyk as well, even though I think that Anthony Joshua didn't do himself any sort of favors, right? I don't think he did himself any sort of favors to put himself in the best position to win this fight. I think that, Usyk was the better man. He was the better boxer. He was the better fighter. He had the stronger mentality. He's a winner. And I said that all before. Mentally, he's not only in terms of his skills is he better than Anthony Joshua, but he's stronger than him mentally. He's a dog. I mean, the joke was on everybody, hence the Joker suit he was wearing at the press conference. This guy's a killer. He's a dog. And for people saying he didn't have pop, it's ridiculous. he does have pop in his punches. We gotta stop with this just because he's not a one hitter quitter, type puncher like Deontay Wilder that he can't punch. The dude can punch. He took out a heavyweight in terms of Witherspoon. Okay, fair enough. Witherspoon's not a top tiered heavyweight, but he got respect from Chisora, stunned him in that fight, won the fight, and then he almost took out Anthony Joshua a few times. Like I said, 30 seconds left in that 12th round. He probably gets Anthony Joshua out there. And there was a few times early on, halfway through the fight, that I think he had Anthony Joshua, out on his feet. But let's give credit to Oleksandr Usyk. This dude's the real deal. He's pound for pound. On my top list now, I replace Canelo with Oleksandr Usyk, and then I have Crawford at third. So I got Usyk first, I got Canelo second, and I got Crawford third. So this dude ain't no joke, man. He cleaned out the cruiserweight division, and I understand that he's an undersized heavyweight, but this guy is very skilled. He's very determined. He's very tough mentally. He has experience going into motherfuckers' home countries, backyards, and taking their fucking belts. That's what he does. And and we also underestimated this dude is working against heavyweights all the time, man. He's working against heavyweights. Don't get it twisted. To think that he wasn't eyeing AJ or eyeing the heavyweight division while he was fighting at cruiserweight, you're crazy. I mean, who do you think he's sparring against? Essentially heavyweight. Cruiserweights are essentially heavyweights. They just cut down to that weight. But those motherfuckers walk around well over 220, most of them. And Usyk walks around well over 220 probably, and he's sparring against heavyweights. There's light heavyweights. Look, I'm a light heavyweight. I spar with heavyweights, from time to time. So you telling me that Oleksandr Usyk isn't going in the gym and getting looks from heavyweights? Go look at a picture online where he's got a bunch of huge motherfuckers. I don't know, they look like freaking Vikings, man. All these huge motherfuckers he's sparring with. You think he's not used to that? You think he's not prepared for that? Dude, he's been sparring heavyweights his whole career, essentially. So I'm just not buying this. But if Anthony Joshua is going to stand a chance in this second fight, he's got to be the bigger man. He's got a point blank period. That is what it is. But there's lots of interesting questions here. Can Usyk beat Fury? Can Usyk beat Wilder? Those are very interesting questions. I think Usyk it would be a very interesting matchup with either one of those guys. In terms of Wilder, Usyk, I think stylistically, he's obviously the better boxer. We know that, hands down, more skills, better. We know that, right? But we cannot discredit the power of Deontay Wilder. And we've only seen Deontay Wilder get dominated when you can press him off the back foot. And that will be a very interesting matchup with Wilder's right hand and Usyk's boxing ability. I tend to favor Usyk in that fight. I think Usyk will beat Deontay Wilder if they ever matched up. And I think Usyk versus Fury, I tend to lean towards Fury because Fury is the bigger man and he's probably just as skilled as a boxer as Usyk. I need to do more research on Fury against smaller guys. But the difference between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is that Tyson Fury is a well-trained boxer. Not just fundamentally. Anthony Joshua is just fundamentally sound. Tyson Fury is a very skilled boxer. He's shown he can move forward, he can move backward, he can fight in the clinch, in the pocket, whatever it is. And I will always favor a bigger skilled fighter than a smaller one. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I would automatically choose Fury if he matched up against Oleksandr Usyk. I think, even though size is a huge factor, Usyk does have phenomenal footwork, and he is a southpaw, and he may be able to get in and out. One thing that did surprise me with Usyk, considering he came in the heaviest he's ever been, he was very quick. I knew he was quick, but damn, he looked very, very fucking fast. And if he can find a way to get in and out with Fury, get on his skates, it would be very interesting. And I don't know how Fury's going to fight that fight. I don't know if Fury's going to decide to go off the back foot. I don't know if Fury's going to come forward like he did with Wilder. See, this is what makes it tough with Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, is that Fury will have the ability to adapt. He will have the ability. He's not going to need another training camp to transform himself or make those adaptations. Fury can certainly make those adaptations while he's in the ring, and he can move forward, he can move backward. Like I said, he can do it all, and he'll have all those tools at his disposal. It would be a very intriguing and fascinating fight. I'm actually more interested in Usyk versus Fury than I am Joshua versus Fury. And I'm ready for Wilder and Fury to get this out of the way, but we can't sleep on Wilder just yet against Fury. We can't, and we don't know what type of adjustments he's making. And maybe if he makes just the small adjustment of going down to the body against Tyson Fury, maybe that can help him out and turn the tides of the fight. But it's going to be very fascinating. The heavyweight, I know some people were disappointed. They wanted to see Fury versus Anthony Joshua. I'm telling y'all right now, I think Fury would have won that fight. He would have won that fight easily. And that's another thing about Fury. He's a dog. He's a fucking dog. And, he's a fighter. We all question right now Anthony Joshua's dog. I tend to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he came in the fight with the wrong mentality and style. I think he came in with the wrong game plan. But at the end of the day, I certainly know that Fury's more of a dog than Anthony Joshua. And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, I believe that Fury would have easily beat Joshua in a boxing match, especially if he came in, slimmed down, trying to outbox Fury. Not going to happen. So I'm actually pretty excited about the new landscape of the heavyweight division. I think it's a lot more fascinating, and I'm going to be very interested. I'm kind of disappointed there is a rematch, because I want to get, to undisputed. I would like to see Fury. I have a feeling he's going to get past Wilder. I'd like to see Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for undisputed. And that would be fucking phenomenal. Wouldn't it be something if Oleksandr Usyk, became undisputed at heavyweight? It would be something else. This dude is no joke. He's here. Do not sleep on him. Even though I believe Anthony Joshua did himself no favors in terms of his game plan, I believe Usyk's the real deal, you guys. I wouldn't have picked him in this fight if I didn't think he was the real deal. I wouldn't have. Whew, need my nicotine buzz. But yeah, man, tell me what y'all think, man. Are you shocked? How do you see the heavyweight division going down? You think Usyk can become undisputed? Do you think Fury's still going to be on top? How do you think Usyk matches up against Wilder? How do you think the rematch would go with Usyk versus Joshua? Yeah, let me know, you guys. Like the video. Subscribe, comment down below. This is a new channel, trying to build it up. Got a lot of work to do. But like I said, I tell y'all the truth. I'm unbiased. I assess these fights purely based off of the style and the strategy. I'm not too much into like the resume and the records. Obviously, I take that in consideration. But at the end of the day, I strip everything down. I look at the fights based off of the fighter stylistically and strategically in their boxing skills and all that other stuff. Then I add that in and make my decisions. But I got to boast about this one, y'all. I got to boast and I got to brag. I called Usyk winning this fight. I did say I think he'd get it by TKO. But nonetheless, I did also say that there's a good chance it could go to scorecards. But like I said, y'all, this is your boy HB. Final round. Get at me.